Before Pristin were destined to be the biggest and propitious group that they were, they started off as hopeful trainees just like any other aspiring idol. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Midnight Theories. And if you're new here, welcome to Midnight Theories. Forget everything you thought you knew about K-pop. Welcome to your new home for all K-pop related theories, urban legends, and news. Enjoy your stay, consider dropping a like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell to be notified when I release a new video.
We are Pristin! We are Pristin! We are Pristin!
This group of girls trained for years, burning their youth under their company for a shot of stardom and success. During their trainee years, the girls got the golden opportunity to participate in Mnet's new survival show called Produce 101. Produce 101 Season 1 ran from January to April of 2016. The program was originally a girl group survival show that pitted 101 promising trainees against each other, competing for a shot in the show's final group. The contestants would showcase their charisma, singing, rapping, and dancing abilities to win the audience's votes to propel them into the next round. 7 out of the 10 future members of Pristin would participate and audition for Produce 101.
Let's go! Pretty girls, attention! 내게 미쳐라, 미쳐라 또 이렇게.
During the show's finale, 2 of the Pledis trainees would respectively rank 6th and 10th place, leading them to debut in Produce 101's first project group, I.O.I. I.O.I, also known as Ideal of Idols, was a project group composed of the 11 talented finalists. Nayeon would be awarded the titles leader, main rapper, lead dancer, and vocalist, and Kolkyung would own the titles lead dancer, vocalist, and group visual. The girl group officially debuted on May 4th, 2016 with their song Dream Girls, which would start the mark of their 10-month contract.
We are the Dream Girls, Dream Girls. 꿈을 향해 달려가 Dream Girls.
The girls were fairly successful during their debut. Their first EP, Chrysalis, sold over 74,000 physical copies. They won Rookie of the Year award, Best New Female Artist, and nominated in other prestigious categories. They competed with well-established girl groups such as Twice and G-Friend and secured a few music show wins during their time. Dialing a little bit back while Produce 101 was still airing, on March 23, 2016, Pledis Entertainment announced their female trainees would be put in a debut project group called Pledis Girlz. Pledis Girlz was composed of the trainees who were eliminated on Produce 101, with the addition of 3 brand new faces. That same day of the announcement, Unmo featured on the song titled Sickness by 17th Vernon. Pledis Girlz would also go on to hold weekly concerts showcasing their talent and skills, promoting their future group simultaneously while Nayeon and Kolkyung were promoting as I.O.I members. During this time, I.O.I were given their own reality show and let the viewers peek into their dorm life. On one of the episodes, members of I.B.I, I.O.I's sister group, made a special appearance on the show. Unwoo, former I.B.I member and Pledis Girl member, had a heart-to-heart conversation with her fellow label mates.
프로듀스 이제 원을 나가고 공연도 하는 상황에서 그 예전 같은 뭔가 그런 게 없는 것 같아서 내가 데뷔를 성공을 할 수 있을까?
She confessed that she had a hard time after Produce 101. She felt emotional with Nayeon and Kolkyung's temporary departure and worried for her future after debut. This was also around the time Pledis Girlz were doing their weekly concerts and Xian and Yevon were partly absent due to injuries, so only 6 out of the 10 members were actually performing. The group released their first single, We, on June 27, 2016. This music video was used as an introduction video to introduce new fans to the group. In December of 2016, all Pledis Girl members, with the exception of Xion, released a cover of their senior label mate 17's song Adore You. The girls received positive feedback and fans were eager for their debut, even comparing the girls to be just as big or greater than their senior girl group After School and call them the female version of 17. As we were entering a new year, Pledis Girlz would come to the end of their era and rebrand. They held their final concert titled By and High on January 6, 2017, and at the end of their concert, they announced their new group name. Pristin officially debuted on March 21st, 2017 with their EP, Hi Pristin.
We are Pristin. 좋아해, 널 좋아해. 두근두근 뛰는 내 심장이 뚝.
The origin of their name was a combination of the word prismatic, which stands for bright and clear, and elastin, which stands for flawless in strength. The 10-member ensemble initially gained traction from Pledis 101, Pledis Girlz, and I.O.I, and it looked like these girls were set for success. Right off the bat, Pristin performed their debut song on Mnet Presents live broadcast, making them the first rookie girl group to do so. Their debut song peaked at 49 on the Gaon digital charts, it reached 11 on the Billboard World Digital Songs, and sold over 23,000 physical copies on the initial release, and went up to 43,000 by June. Shortly after promotions ended for their album, the girls went right into preparing for their next comeback. 5 months after their debut, Pristin released their second mini-album and made their first comeback with their title, We Like.
I like do-do-do-do-do-do. You like do-do-do-do-do-do. We like do-do-do-do-do-do.
The group performed their album on their showcase to promote their comeback and further promoted it on a variety of music shows. Their album School Out did not impress the public, and album sales went down to 27,000, which is a 16,000 drop from their debut album. On October 12th, Pledis announced on their official fan cafe that member Kyla would take a break from activities and be sent back to her state to recover. Their statement reads, Kyla was advised to take a break from the medical staff as a result of having a medical examination while taking a break at her hometown in the United States. Kyla wanted to participate in Pristin's activities with treatment, and the company also hoped for her activities, but the medical staff revealed that Kyla's health is unreasonable for her current activities, and rest is the priority above all. It's unfortunate, but we decided to focus on treatment in the United States until Kyla's health recovered. I apologize to the fans who love Pristin and Kyla for delivering the sudden news. Kyla's health is the top priority, and recovery to the best health is the most important. Kyla will return to Pristin as soon as she receives treatment and regains health. Closing up 2017, Pristin was nominated and won Rookie of the Year Award and Best New Female Artist. Months had passed since Pristin's last comeback, and there was no news on any new activities. Fans were starting to question the hiatus of the group, with the first red flag being Kyla's absence. Prior to Kyla leaving the group, she was getting heavily criticized by netizens for her appearance and not fitting the quote standard K-pop image. The public questioned if her leave of absence was due to the overwhelming hate comments she was receiving, and Pledis was just trying to cover it up. She was also spotted working in her hometown and opened up an Instagram account, which further pushed the theory that Kyla officially left the group. The second red flag was Kulkyung became a dance mentor on I.O.I producer. She would also release a soundtrack for a Chinese drama, and would later make her Chinese solo and acting debut. And there was also rumors flying around that Xion would be leaving the label, but Pledis quickly denied that. 8 months since We Like, it was announced that Pristin would make a comeback, but this time it would be a subunit. On May 8th, Pledis announced they would be debuting Pristin's first subunit, Pristin V, that would include 5 out of the 10 Pristin members. The subunit would make their debut on May 28, 2018 with Get It.
네 멋대로 get it. 네가 원하는 대로 전부 네 멋대로 hit it.
The V in Pristin V stood for the Roman numeral 5 and villain, which would help cement their villainous concept. Pristin V veered from Pristin's cute girl next door image and showed a more mature and bold sound and image. Pledis hoped that this new image would draw in new fans and bring more attention to the group. Fans and netizens alike were curious to the new sound and concept from the subunit. Their album unfortunately sold an underwhelming 18,000 albums, which was the lowest of their album sales have been. So what did this mean for the future of Pristin V and Pristin as a whole? Pristin V never won any major achievements, but at the end of the year award shows, Pristin as a whole won the New Artist Award and Global Rookie Top 5. Almost 7 months since Pristin V's activities, and well over a year since a full Pristin comeback, dedicated fans began to protest the lack of group activities and comeback. Fans that were in Pristin's fan cafes started to make posts asking for updates on any new activities and demanding for Pledis to give the girls a comeback. Allegedly, Pledis were deleting the posts related to the protests, which angered fans. So what did the fans do when they felt they weren't being heard? The fans brought the protest to Pledis' front door. They posted notes covering the Pledis building with demands to bring Pristin back. Their protest was deemed ineffective and the notes were taken down the same day, enraging the fanbase even more. Pledis did not acknowledge the protest and never made a statement. This would be one of the many incidents that would outrage the fans. The end of another year had concluded. It was finally 2019 and there was still no word on the current status of the group. It would soon be marking 2 years since Pristin's last comeback, and it made fans feel antsy and uneasy. A few of the members started to reappear in the group's Kakao chats and started to send their fans updates and selfies to keep them at ease. The members also started to slowly open up their individual social media accounts, which could mean one of two things. Either they were opening their accounts to engage with fans and hype up their next comeback, or they were disbanding. In February of 2019, member Xian would be graduating from a prestigious performing arts school that is known to have many idols that graduated. For famous graduates, the school holds a special panel where the press can take pictures. Xian did not attend that panel, and not accompanied by a manager or company representative, nor were her members present during the graduation, which is all normal for idol graduates. Every famous graduate receives an award of achievement for debuting, yet Xian was not acknowledged by the school for her present idol accomplishments. Later, when fans were made aware of this and also found out that not only was she unaccompanied by a manager or company representative, but she arrived at graduation in a taxi. Fans were outraged once again, and rightfully so. Xian was previously a trainee for Pledis for 9 years, making her the Pristin member with the most trainee years. Months continued to pass, and Pristin's fandom finally got an update in status they were so desperately asking for, but it wasn't the answer they wanted. On May 24th, 2019, Pledis announced the group would officially be disbanding. This news was a big hit to the fanbase. The fans were upset that the company was neglecting the group and now terminating them after 2 years of activity. Furthermore, Pledis announced that 3 out of the 10 members would stay under the label. A snippet from their statement reads as follows. As for the Pristin members who will be leaving our agency, we'd like to express our deepest gratitude to them and sincerely support them on their new path, though their contracts with us have ended. The rest of the members that had ended their contracts with Pledis went their separate ways, with still staying in the entertainment industry. Nayoung, former leader of the group, signed with Sublime Artist Agency in June of 2019 and debuted as an actress in 2020. Xian signed under a new agency in July 2020 and would be making her acting debut in an indie film. Kyla is living a seemingly normal life and still dabbles in music. She also has a YouTube channel and made a Q&A and once again clarifies that she went on hiatus back in 2017 due to a concussion she received on set during I.O.I.
I went on hiatus, and I can tell you now that it wasn't because of the hate comments. It wasn't because, of my weight and how that affected my mental health. In actuality, the reason why I went on hiatus is because I ended up getting injured. I got a concussion while filming our second music video, and the doctors and my company decided that it would be best if I took a period to rest and recover from this injury. They all thought that it was important that I fully recovered before we continued on with any new promotions.
Although Kulkyung stayed with Pledis to finish her 7-year contract, she later tried to terminate her contract with Pledis and her Chinese label. Pledis did not accept her request of termination and made a statement on the matter. They claimed that they provided the idol with lots of support to achieve her dreams, and even got her a spot to audition on Produce 101. They further alleged the idol had breached their contract by appearing in TV shows and advertisements in China independently. Because of the contract violation, they would be seeking legal action against her. The next day, Kulkyung released her own statement stating she wanted to resolve the issue legally without any inconvenience, but the reason she sent the termination request was due to serious issues she had with the company. She did not elaborate on the issues, but she accepted that she would face and resolve the issue. The other 2 members who stayed, Yeonhana and Seungyeon, are still under Pledis, and not much is out about the girls. Seungyeon did upload a photo of her in the studio on her social media, which had fans question if there is a possible solo debut. And the last 4 members, Roa, Yoonha, Eunwoo, and Rena, surprised the public and their former fandom by signing together under OSR Entertainment and re-debut as Hinapia on November 3rd, 2019 with their single Drip.
달콤하게 drip 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 난 네 맘 깊이 감춰둔 진짜 널 원해 강렬하게 drip drip drip
Hinapia stood for High, New, Amazing Utopia. The group was obviously composed of 4 of the former Pristin members, but as well as a newly added member, Bada, making them a 5-member group. The quintet held their showcase to promote their album and further promote it on music shows. Their album titled New Start did not do as well as predicted. For a group that was well anticipated and flooded all over social media, the numbers just weren't there. While their title track did peak at number 18 on the World Digital Song Sale chart, the album allegedly sold roughly 10,000 albums in their first week of sales. Their new company did plan to have a comeback for the girls in March of 2020, and even news sites were reporting on it. However, due to the current situation of the world, their comeback was announced to be postponed. On August 21st, 2020, it was announced OSR Entertainment had disbanded Hinapia and terminated their contracts. OSR is a fairly new company that rely on busking in events to earn income for their company, but due to the current world situation, it was harder to financially sustain the group and were forced to disband. During Hinapia's debut showcase, member Yebin made an emotional reveal on Pristin's last few months as a group. She revealed Pristin were working hard on preparing for a new album. It was a shock to them hearing the news without any warning. She opened up that her heart hurt when Pristin disbanded, but she was happy working to continue with some of her past teammates to reach their shared dream.
해체가 되게 되어서 다시 마음이 맞는 친구들이랑 우리 한 번만 처음에 딱 데뷔를 해서 되게 승승장구할 줄 알았어요. 막 상도 많이 받고 막 그렇게 되다가 딱 팀이 없어지니까 다 없어지는 느낌인 거예요.
We have, I'd say, around 20 to 30 unreleased songs from our trainee days. We've made a lot. We've been songwriting for several years now, so.
Fans of Pristin claim that the group would have been just as big as groups like Twice, Red Velvet, and any other established third-generation girl group. But if we look at the numbers, it just wasn't where it should have been. Pristin are known to be the, quote, most successful Pledis 101 alum group, and use that to back up their theory, but if we compare I.O.I, Pristin, and other Pledis 101 groups' album sales, you can understand partially why they disbanded. I.O.I sold 74,000 physical copies for their debut album, and compared to Pristin's, they sold 43,000, which later dropped to 27,000 for their comeback album. Companies usually predict an increase the longer the groups are active, but that wasn't the case for their depleting sales the group was making. There very well could have been a chance that the group could have been successful if the company pushed through with one of their unreleased songs that could have been a hit, and secured a spot for the girls to be a powerhouse girl group, but we'll never know. Groups such as Weki Meki, Gugudan, and GWSN are all groups that debuted post-Pledis 101 and are as well considered mid-tier groups. They are still going strong and getting bigger each comeback, so who's to say Pristin couldn't have achieved their level or greater for not their neglect and mismanagement if the declining album sales didn't play a big factor. The advantage of being on a hit show like Pledis 101 and having members from I.O.I weren't enough to keep the group afloat, and neither were their second shot for the members of Hinapia. Both Pristin and Hinapia were heavily anticipated and hyped up groups, but when they did debut and release music, the numbers did not equate in both views and sales. These groups did not find a market to confidently lay down their roots and show their full potential, further projecting them as victims of wasted talent due to the neglect and mismanagement. Do you believe Pristin could have dominated the industry with their unreleased album and proper promotion and activities from Pledis? Let me know all your thoughts and comments down below. And as always, thank you for watching and enjoy your stay.